Jitterbug came out of the Orange County, California shelter in 2005. She was apparently hit by a car, and so she was put out there for a rescue group to save because they won't put animals that are injured like that out for the general public. And I went to see her, and she just suckered me in. She came up to me with that little tail wagging and sat down and looked at me and said, "Don't you want to help me?" And I did. I took her and I thought, I can place her. I do dog rescue. I've placed quite a few dogs in my time. And not being a small dog person, I thought, oh, she's cute, she's little, she'll go easily into somebody's home. She did. Within 24 hours, she had pretty much ensconced herself into mine.
So everything was okay, and even at that point, there was a problem with the way Jitterbug was moving around.
Yes, well, we knew the reason she was up for a rescue group only at the shelter was because she had something wrong with her back. They thought that she might have been hit by a car. She couldn't use her back legs. So she was crawling with her front legs, dragging her back legs behind her. And I figured it was probably neurologic. There was some nerve damage. And so I knew I had to get her to a specialist to have her checked out. So I knew she had to see a neurologist.
Yeah, a dog that can't walk. I mean, a lot of people at that point wouldn't see a neurologist, but rather they might just go somewhere to euthanize the dog.
Unfortunately, that happens all too often when actually this is a very fixable problem the vast majority of the time, especially in Jitterbug's case, where her spinal injury was not a complete spinal injury. She actually had a herniated disc pressing on her spinal cord, and we were able to do surgery to remove that, and she regained full function. And that's a common ending to this story.
Surgery, when it works, and how often it works a lot, is kind of, okay, now you're back to normal.
Yeah, so the vast majority of the time they are fixable problems, and that depends on whether they feel their toes or not. So we actually pinch their toes and expect them to either cry out, turn and look at us, or try to bite us. And if that's the case, they actually have about a 93 to 97% chance of recovery with surgery.
Now, you know more than most, Marianne. I mean, you knew to see a neurologist. You know this stuff. But can you see why pet owners might not and might be so fearful? Oh, my gosh. I've got a dog that is unable to move, and I'm just going to, I don't have the money for this. I don't even know that this exists to even think about an option.
I think a lot of people put themselves in their dog's place when this happens, and they expect that the dogs are going to react the way they do. And to take it to a real simple surgery, neutering and spaying, people look at it and react like a person would. Oh my God, they can't have puppies. That doesn't matter to the dog. The surgery doesn't matter to the dog. The dogs don't feel, as we've heard veterinarians say here today, they don't go into this thinking, oh my God, my back is busted, I'm never going to walk again. Just put me out of my misery. They, in fact, before, as Dr. Stevenson said, she was already starting to use her rear feet and was even doing some walking on the tops of her toes by the time we got the surgery. They just deal with what's there. And that's why their recovery times are so fast. So as far as that aspect of it goes, it's a shame that people think that way and don't realize that it's completely different for animals. It is expensive. There's no doubt about that. This kind of surgery, cancer treatments, are not cheap. But for those of us who look at these guys as family members and who can't imagine living without them, it's only money.
So even for you, were you surprised at how quickly Jitterbug bounced back?
Not really. And the main reason for that is I had a dog who had osteosarcoma in the jaw about 10 years ago, and a surgeon took off half his lower jaw to get rid of the cancer site. And that one amazed me because within 3 days of his surgery, with probably hundreds of stitches in his jaw, that dog was bouncing around the house. I literally took my mattress off my bed and put it on the floor because I was afraid he'd hit himself trying to bounce off and on the bed. So it wasn't such a surprise with her. Little surprise when she ate her way out of the crate when I put her in a nylon crate because she was not happy at being crate restrained. But I was very glad to see it.
And now Jitterbug is helping other people.
Yes, she is. She's a therapy dog, and we visit hospitals and assisted living facilities and bring a little of what I call jitter joy to people who can't get out. They're stuck in because they're having surgery, or people in the assisted living facilities who live there. And many of them are ex-pet owners who just light up They just absolutely just turn a light when I bring her in and I put her on their lap and they get to hold her and hug her for just a couple minutes.
So you saved Jitterbug, Dr. Stevenson saved you saving Jitterbug, and now Jitterbug saves other people.
That's right. Isn't it great how it all goes around?